By law, it's compulsory in most states for new homeowners and anyone doing residential renovations over $12,000 to take out home builders' warranty insurance through their builders. Consumers naturally expect that that would protect them if they fall victim to any shoddy workmanship, but it's not necessarily true. The coverage is limited and only provides protection in extreme circumstances, such as when a builder dies, disappears or becomes insolvent. Consumer groups have branded it, quote, a junk product, and although it's been the subject of more than 30 state and federal inquiries, many homeowners are still being left in the lurch. Lisa Whitehead reports.
It was a terrible outcome for us. We invested so much money and so much time and so much effort. Yeah, it was terrible.
Melbourne couple Sonia and Dion Isaacs paid the builder of their new house $300,000 before discovering a string of major defects in the construction work.
We were supposed to have three-phase underground power to this house, but we have single-phase overhead power, so that's a big problem. We have undersized gas pipes, the drainage was really poor, and all three bathrooms have to have all the tiles ripped off.
The Isaacs won an order against the builder in the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal, or VCAT, for $52,000, as well as their agreed legal costs.
The amount of money that we'd spent in barristers' fees, solicitors' fees, experts' fees, VCAT hearing fees was well in excess of like $120,000, $130,000.
The builder didn't pay up and went into voluntary administration, allowing the Isaacs to make a claim on their builder's warranty insurance, only triggered when a builder goes into insolvency, dies or disappears. The insurance company Vero refused to cover the Isaacs' legal costs. It argued those costs had nothing to do with the insurance claim nor with the builder's insolvency. VCAT agreed, ordering the insurer to pay the Isaacs only the $52,000 owed to them by the builder, leaving the couple more than $100,000 out of pocket.
The insurance policies are an absolute waste of ink.
There's nothing in that policy that says that legal costs associated with pursuing the builder are not covered in that policy. It says loss and damage resulting from defective and incomplete works. And if legal costs aren't loss and damage, I don't know what is.
While VCAT ruled in favour of the insurance company, it went on to say it was an unfortunate outcome for the owners, and it is not surprising homeowners are somewhat disenchanted with the current regime.
The big winner is obviously the insurer, and this does set a precedent in Victoria, a very unfortunate one, for consumers and the general public.
How much do you expect this will cost you when it's all over?
Over $100,000.
The strategy against us is wear people down so they get to a point where they walk away.
The Isaacs case is the latest in a long line of consumer complaints about home warranty insurance, introduced after the collapse of insurance giant HIH in 2001.
After months of difficulties, the problems facing HIH insurance have finally come to a head.
Back then, state governments had to attract insurance companies back into the building sector by reducing risk and capping payouts. So-called last resort insurance was seen as the answer.
It is not there to cover instances of bad building practices or a problem between the client and the builder. So in that type of instance, the client would have to go down the normal procedure for redress against the builder.
The builder must have this insurance to operate his business. Without it, he can't operate. He doesn't get registered, nor can he buy an insurance policy. So therefore, there's an enormous sway over builders.
The New South Wales master builders want that regulatory control taken away from the 5 private insurance companies selling about $100 million worth of premiums a year.
We had a fundamental issue, which was why would an insurer be a de facto licensee, or licensor I should say, or the issuer of a licence to the builder and the building industry?
In contrast, The other major organisation representing the building trade, the Housing Industry Association, says the fault lies with flaws in the dispute resolution process rather than the insurance system. HIA is a joint partner in the country's biggest broker of home builders warranty insurance. The HIA declined our request for an interview, but in a written response refuted any suggestion that this presents a conflict of interest.
I am aghast, to be honest, that the HIA still supports the scheme, although I understand their position is turning somewhat to make it that they subscribe to a voluntary system. But up until now, we've got a scenario where the two major building industry associations are completely diametrically opposed.
And to do that, you need...
This split has sent conflicting messages to the 30-odd federal and state inquiries set up to examine home warranty insurance, the most recent initiated last year by Green Senator Christine Milne. But she says the message from consumers is loud and clear.
Every time they went to court, it was costing them more and more, and at the end of the day, they lost a fortune.
The case for change was bolstered by the release of figures by the Financial Ombudsman in December, showing warranty insurance was the worst performing insurance in the country, with nearly half of all claims rejected.
It is clear that it is a junk product, that claims are rejected at a ratio many times more than is acceptable. 45% rejected claims with home warranty insurance, 2% rejection rate for all other insurance products. Something's going wrong here.
I had suspected that we did have a major problem. I think the figures, if anything, confirmed my suspicions.
But those figures were released 1 month after the Senate committee made its recommendations. It endorsed some discrete changes, including extending the grounds for triggering a claim, something New South Wales plans to introduce this month. It also recommended dropping the word warranty to avoid consumer confusion.
All we got was effectively a very weak Senate report, and you have to wonder why it is that the government really backed off when they should have been able to see that this is a disaster.
The Senate committee rejected calls to bring in a Queensland-style government-backed system or to follow Tasmania's lead and make it voluntary.
I think the problem with making it voluntary is that the people who take out the insurance, the builders, aren't the people who benefit from the insurance, the clients. So I think all these issues need to be on the table, and it would be good to get a much more rational system.
This month, the Federal Consumer Affairs Minister and his state counterparts agreed to another review of home builders' warranty insurance to improve consumer protection. But those who have waged a campaign on behalf of consumers say that doesn't go far enough.
Chris Bowen cannot get away with just saying he's worried about its underperformance. He should worry about the product altogether and show some leadership in getting the states to agree to abolish it altogether.
Sonia and Dion Isaacs just want an end to their financial nightmare. Their $360,000 dream home ended up costing them around $500,000. But Victorian Consumer Affairs recently knocked back their request to fund an appeal to the Supreme Court, saying it wasn't in the public interest.
We exhausted every avenue. We followed the judicial system. We thought we were doing the right thing. I just don't have faith in the whole system.
Nothing like a good review to fix a problem. Again, Lisa Whitehead with that report.